Today we're going to work on a project. We're going to be doing tessellations. So a tessellation is a figure that repeats. So for example, if I take this triangle, it's a figure that, like basically that I can fit together to make a pattern. So you see these triangles here, I can fit them together and I can continuously connect them to make a pattern. Okay. Likewise, I can do the same thing with these squares. I mean, again, squares are kind of boring, but I can tile them to make a pattern. I can also do the same thing with hexagons and also with rectangles. I've got some rectangles here that we can do them with. But we're going to stick with these three shapes. So we have the triangles, we have the squares, and then we can also have rectangles, and rectangles will tessellate. Now, I mean, if all I was going to do is have you cut out some rectangles and squares, that would be like super boring. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to actually create a tessellation figure using a strategy called, what is it called? I don't know what the strategy is called. It's I think it's like snipping, like a nibbling. That's what they call it, the nibbling technique. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the square one because I'm trying to make this simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw just some kind of shape on here. Okay. So I'm going to draw this shape. Okay, and I'm going to make that shape go across one side, all right? And then I'm going to cut the shape out. And again, I'm going to cut it out of this side. And all I'm doing is cutting along that pattern that I drew. And then we're cutting, and we're cutting. Okay. I cut along the pattern. Okay, once I've got this figure cut out, I'm going to take it from this side and I'm going to stick it on the opposite side. So now when this figure tessellates, if I draw this figure over and over again, this side will fit into that side. So I'm going to take a piece of tape, and my tape dispensers are awful, so I'm going to use my scissors to cut the tape. And I'm going to tape this piece here. So I'm just going to put my piece of tape here. And then make sure that that's not it. Make sure they fit as snugly as I can get them to fit. I want them to be all snuggly. Okay, so we fit that there. And then any little edges that we have, we just roll them over. Okay, so now I've got this one. Well, I've got another side here, so I could do the other side too. So this time I'm going to do some curvy lines. And again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, making a pattern that I think might be interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this one out. And again, I'm just cutting along the pattern that I drew. Okay. And you can make this as complicated or as simple as you want to. But, obviously I think more complicated is more fun. Not everybody agrees with me. Okay, so now that I've got this cut out, I'm going to put it on the opposite side. Again, I'm just going to tape it down just like I did the other one. Get a piece of tape and tape it in place. All right. So now this one tapes. Oop, right. No, I messed up. Right there. Let me get it actually. Oh my gosh. Okay, get it on there as close as I can. Y'all know I have perfection issues. Okay, so now this is the shape that I've got. I'm just going to cut some little things there so I can fold this down. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, but the next step in this process is I need to figure out what I've made. Okay, now this is you remember that when you were little and you played the cloud game? You had to imagine what you saw there. So you would look up at the clouds and you would say I see a butterfly, I see a dragon eating a chicken. I don't know what you saw. Well, I see a frog. And he's smiling, and that's his little frog. There's his, the back of his frog side there, and he's got his foot right there. Just, what, I'm not an artist, okay? And then he's got a real big mouth, and here's his other foot. Okay, I see this frog. Okay, whatever, it's the best I could do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper, okay, and I'm going to trace my frog on. I'm going to start him wherever I want to. Okay, so I'm going to start him here, and I'm just going to trace my frog. Trace him on the paper. And, you know, it's not like it's hard because I've just made a stencil. I'm going to try and trace it not crazy looking because, you know, I mean, I want to respect the frog that I just gave life to. Did I give him life? I don't know. I feel like the universe gave him life by bringing him to me. Did I draw over here? Okay. Okay, so now let me show you what makes this a tessellation. So I showed you how like triangles and rectangles and squares are tessellatable figures. Okay, well now that I've made this frog, I can put him right there and trace another one. I can put him right here and trace another one. I can put him over here and trace another one, or I can put him down here. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this whole page with my crazy little frog here. Okay, and when I'm done, I'm going to color him in. And he's going to look awesome because he is the frog of my imagination. Okay? So this is what we're doing. We're making a tessellatable figure. And if you finish one quickly and you get it all colored in, that's fine. You can make another one. We're going to do this for a couple days. Because why not? Okay, and then when you're done, you've got that one, and then we can just kind of zip right on over here and do the same thing and fill them in. Okay, so this is how we make a tessellation. And again, this is called the nibbling method. So that's what we're going to do, and then when you're done, you're going to draw your little frog over and over again. Or, I mean, you don't have to draw a frog. And I made some other ones just to try them out. I made this one, which I thought it kind of looked like a coral reef, but I'm not an artist, so I had a little difficult time doing that. It also looks kind of like a paint slob. I drew this one, and I drew this one. I thought he looked like a fish riding on top of a wave. I drew this one that ended up looking like a unicorn pelican. So, I mean, like, there's lots of different things that you can try. And again, it's all about using your imagination. I don't know why my imagination is all animals, but, you know, here we are. So we're going to work on that today and tomorrow.